it's a trap. Yeah, that's one of those things, quotes you see on Instagram, and when you go online. Yeah, I saw that, and yeah, it kind of stuck to me, like, a couple of years ago, like maybe a decade or so. Let's put it that way. I thought about that. Really, is it really a trap to grow up? It seemed like it, because when you're young and full of they're not full of something, but maybe full of wonder about what the world has to surprise you with. It's like people telling people that the world is their oyster. So combine that with the youthfulness, that youthful energy that's brave and stupid. So it's all of those. And so yeah, but recently being curious about still Jungian thought. It's like I thought about reading the works of M.L. Marie Louise von Franz. She was I think Jung's closest associate in terms of like with the analysis thing. So yeah, she's well known for her work on archetypes in fairy tales. It's like Dr. Jung discovered that there are archetypes, and he had quite a work. Those his studies on them. And Marie von Franz, professor, I think she was a professor. So she went ahead and did studies on her own about the thought, the discipline, and she made some interesting discoveries, like that there's archetypes in epic stories. It's like they're well represented, and there's also the presence of archetypes in fairy tales, stories for kids. And quite interested about that, because I do have a kid. I want to raise him well, and I want to feed his mind with the right stuff, of course. So I thought of interested in how archetypes in fairy tales are evidenced, and how they form these, how these archetypes contribute ideas to a growing, developing mind. So it's like, but in related to that, I also got to be aware of her book entitled The Problem of the Puer Aeternus. And so I've heard of the term Puer Aeternus before. It means Peter Pan. I was like, what? There were just too many. There was like a constellation that, like, Peter Pan fairy tales for kids archetypes of the Puer Aeternus. And the exact title of the book is The Problem of the Puer Aeternus. So essentially, this is the problem of Peter Pan. It's like, okay, and of course, Peter Pan, Puer Aeternus. So it was like, very interesting indeed. Was like the really it felt like the answer to the question, or to the statement, like, don't grow up, it's a trap. Like, it seemed that after I'm done with the book, or as I was reading the book, it was like the other way around now because of the age. It's like, if you don't grow up, you'll get trapped in adolescent mindset. You won't, there's some sort of stagnation into that part of your personality and your growth as a human being on this earth. So it's like, I was like, really felt quite astonished by it. And yeah, so about the book. So I'm, about the book. I'll just describe it for you. I won't get too technical, on it. Like, like quote straight on the pages. I haven't memorized it. This is just my, really fresh perspective from it. Like, just read it, so I don't really wanna, dive deep into it, into discussions of like these passage and that and all of that. But yeah, anyway. So to describe the book, it's a collection of, it's like it's not a book written by Professor von Franz, like, typed it on her typewriter and, thought and all of that, laid it out. And yeah, it's not a book like that. It's like a collection of transcribed lectures from universities in the matter. It's like the problem of the Puer Aeternus, the problem of Peter Pan. So in the lectures, the point of, the focus of the study, well, I'm not sure if that's, really the whole focus, but it was one of the big parts of the book, is the analysis of Antoine Marie-Exupéry's myth, essentially, The Little Prince. Now, The Little Prince, I think most of us have read it at school. It's part of a, reading list of some sort. So yeah, so Antoine Marie-Exupéry was a pilot, and Professor von Franz considers him like an epitome of what a pure Aeternus is. So by studying The Little Prince, it was like a gateway um to Mr. Exupery's insights, like why he made those symbols in the book, like the snake and the elephant. Like, how is that the myth, the symbols? Because when you start talking about symbols and mythology like that, so especially in a book where every page counts, so you put what's essential, you put what's full of layers and interpretation, something old like the snake eating the elephant. So like that. So that was in in Mr. Exupery's head. So there was a part in the book where Professor von Franz interpreted these symbols to something like the snake, which is like represents chaos, Ouroboros, eats the elephant. So the elephant is like another holy animal. It's Ganesha in Indian mythology. So it's like chaos is eating that. I forgot what exactly Ganesha represents. It's all things. It's complex, but something like that. The first the book is filled with that. I can't remember if they went through the end, but yeah, the Little Prince by Mr. Exupery was thoroughly analyzed, the symbolism, the plot, and how this myth explains the pure Aeternus, the mindset of what the pure, what the archetype of the pure Aeternus is like. So yeah, it's like essentially Peter Pan, not want to grow up, but that causes issues, because for a god, gods have no problems. They can they can just be gods. But when the pure Eternus archetype is present in like men, young men, and the it can cause problems, because there's some one of the things that stuck to me that described the habits of this like pure Eternus types is that since you're all potential, you have and you're if you got lots of and you got lots of potential, and you know it, and you're young, there's like this fear of sacrificing all of those potentials to move on to a next to another stage of your life, and sacrifice everything and just be one something. It's like you got you're one thing, but then again you're like your personality or your personal development is one level beyond like the pure Eternus types when it comes to like mindset. Because if you're an adolescent pure Eternus type, it's like in simple terms, you're a mama's boy. So, and your mama can be quite a devouring mom, and you might have issues with her, and those contribute to your development as a man. from a boy. I mean, from a boy, and then, but the boy to transition into a man, like a man with responsibilities, and a man with a, if you want to, um um if you want to have like this, you know um to live in this mode of being that is not a kid anymore, you gotta have to shed a lot. And most pure Eternus types don't have the, the heart, courage to shed all of those, because it hurts. And that's another thing about when that's another description in the book, like, the pure Eternus types don't like to feel pain, because they're too sheltered by their mothers. So, like, they don't like pain and shedding. It's like physical and emotional pain, so they just deny all of it, self-denial, and stuff like that. So instead of facing it, getting ripped into shreds and getting scars and shedding all your old conceptions, and move on to another mode of being, then the pure Eternus gotta be sacrificed. So those are some of the themes that I picked up on this book. There were it's rich with information like that, like what goes on in the mind of someone, being blessed and cursed by being a pure Eternus. It's like, it's not all bad, it's not all bad, because of course pure Eternus types, like Peter Pan types, of course they got, like, the kid in every the kid in every heart of every human is still there. But it's just like, overstaying your welcome to a certain mindset. There's there's there has to be something to, like, a ritual or something, or a process of initiation from being a pure Eternus to finally be a man. Has it these are the ideas. If you like those ideas that I mentioned, and if you're just into, especially if you're a guy, it will hit you. The honesty, the brutality of, like, it's, on a personal level, it has helped me process stuff, and understand a lot what happened during some of the, dark times in life, and was having some memories, and with reading about the pure Eternus and the analysis in this book. It's like, kind of, it acted this it acted like an agent of sorts, to help me understand more about myself. And it's pretty good. So the problem of the pure Eternus, you should check it out. Just search it on anywhere, any shopping, Amazon, I guess. Search it on Amazon and get it. And if you got suggestions about what the next book's gonna be, or if you got a suggestion of an author, or something related to myths, please do send me a message and I'll check them out too. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Ciao.